going on, everybody? My name is Zero, and welcome to my first ever movie review. And what better movie to start off my reviewing series than Free Guy? Now, I know that this movie came out on August 13th. I'm late to the party in two different ways. One, in watching this film. Man, I really wish that I was able to watch it when it first came out in theaters, but I was barely able to catch this flick yesterday, and I had a blast in the theaters with this film. Two, I'm also late in giving this review, but hey, better late than never. Now, this movie, Free Guy, is directed by Mr. Shawn Levy, who has had a hand in helping produce the hit series on Netflix, Stranger Things, and Season 4 is just around the corner, so be looking forward to that. He has also had a hand in helping with Real Steel, where we see robots fight against each other, and of course, the Night at the Museum franchise. Now, my expectations for this film were a bit mixed. Every time that producers and directors try to create a movie based off of video games, it doesn't really get received that well. It doesn't do that great with the box office. The only movie that I believe I remember doing fantastic is Ready Player One. And this movie just took the concept of video games in general, took the concept of different characters and virtual reality, and it was able to manage a great time at the theaters. So I was expecting Free Guy to be somewhere along those lines, but no, I did not expect Free Guy at all to be this comedic film and also secretly a love story as well. And none of that, in my opinion, could have been done without the great acting skills of Deadpool. Only joking, of course, I know. Mr. Ryan Reynolds, the man behind Deadpool, the man behind Guy in this movie, the man behind a bunch of different fantastic characters. But in this movie specifically, we're following Ryan Reynolds' character Guy, who is also referenced to as Blue Shirt Guy by a majority of other characters within the film. So Guy is an NPC, which stands for a non-player character. And those are usually those characters that you see running around in the background of a video game, if you've ever played video games, which you should play video games, because then you're not doing yourself justice. So go play a video game. These are usually the characters that you see running around in the background, that they're programmed in there basically just to fill space. But boy, do the NPCs in this film take the stage. And that's all thanks to the chemistry that the cast has with each other. Now, there is the real world, and then where the majority of the story takes place, the video game world. But within those two worlds, we do have a character, Millie, who is played by Jodie Comer, who does a fantastic job at showing exceptional chemistry between Joe Keery's Keys and Ryan Reynolds' Guy. So I feel like she has to pull double the weight in order to have these amazing interactions between these two very, very different characters, one from a video game world and one from the real world. Another standout character, in my opinion, is Buddy, who is played by Lil Rel Howery. He did a fantastic job in this role. He is Guy's best friend, and I think it's through the emotions of Ryan Reynolds' acting ability that you really do feel for this other character, Buddy. And that's just giving more to showing how these NPCs, these background characters, are more than meets the eye. Next up on my list of the different characters that we have is Taika Waititi's character, Antoine. Now, Antoine is the main antagonist of this film, but I think it's with his character that I do have the most gripes with. Towards the end of the film, he started to tone down in his exaggerating actions. I feel like he would have been portrayed better in the video game world just because he was just so out of the norm in the real world. And that's probably one of the only gripes that I have with the film. It's just the character of Taika Waititi's Antoine. I don't know if that's how the film director is portraying just these jerk CEOs, but hey, that's the character we got, and he did good with what he was given. One thing I truly did not expect from this film is the amount of action in here, and that's a bad on my part, because knowing that we're going into a video game movie, there's going to be video game crazy action scenes. So this brings in the visual effects, the CGI. It gets thrown all over the place, but it makes sense because it is only in the video game world that all this stuff happens, so it doesn't take me out of that belief or anything like that. Another thing that I really did love about this movie is the soundtrack. There were some parts where it's straight out of the Deadpool movie where you're looking at the girl and everything stops in slow motion, and then you have that beautiful soundtrack in the background. They have a little bit of that in this movie as well, and they did a fantastic job with their choices of music, and I think it just helped add to this comedic movie where a video game character is, going on their own journey, finding love in all the wrong places. With all of that being said, I think that this movie did a great job at representing a video game movie in general. We have already our video game movie with Ready Player One, but comes Free Guy to step up on that ladder and sit on the chair right next to it. So yeah, overall, I think this was a very, very well-made movie. And one great thing that came out of it is probably one of the most beautiful things in all movie history, movie cinema history, the creation of this character right here. We got Dude. I'm going to leave him there. Just look at him. Are you looking at him? Have you fallen in love yet? Now, I'm not going to give much on this character. I'll go ahead and wait for you all to go watch this movie in theaters to get a look at this glorious beast. Now, realizing that this is my first ever movie review, I need to come up with a unique rating score. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, but I do know that I can definitely recommend that you all go watch Free Guy in theaters. Whenever you have the chance. Of course, be safe. I know there is this thing going around. Can't say the words because YouTube doesn't like when people use the P word or the C word. And I mean disease-wise, not those other bad words. Anyways, I really do recommend going to watch Free Guy in theaters. It is a fantastic time. I found myself laughing in my seat along with the entirety of the theater. I hope that you all enjoyed my first ever movie review. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. Comment down below if you've already seen this movie. I want to know what your thoughts are on it. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Come back to my video, comment, let me know. Most importantly, do not forget to subscribe and join the Zero Nation. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Later.